YouTube land, we're back with another video. Today we've got a Galaxy DX88 sent in by Anonymous. Oh, sent in by one of the big kahunas over there on the island. He will remain nameless. He doesn't like people to know what he's got. So anyway, we're going to click yes on here, and we're looking at it was dead keen about 5 watts. It's got we're clipping and flat topping and everything else, as you can see. Running about 26 watts PEP power. Top marker right there on that showing about 124% modulation. So we're definitely in need of some work. Definitely in need of some work. So it's a pretty radio. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get into this thing and check it out, and we'll be back. Back with the Galaxy 88. We've got it all torn apart here. Wanted to clean up everything, and we had to install the variable here on the squelch. So what we're going to do is we're going to key it up here with no modulation, just a carrier. We'll show you the variable, how your variable is going to work. Like I said, it'll go all the way down, and it goes up to 12 watts. Okay, now the modulation looks kind of screwy when you turn that all the way up. So if you cut that back down to about, the reason it looks screwy is because it can't maintain 100% modulation at 11 watt dead key. In other words, the radio is not going to do 60 watts. It never could be capable of doing that. And actually, these radios like this with dual 1969 finals with no hackery done and no BS, 26 to 30 watts is about all you're going to get out of them on the peak side. So if you set the dead key right there for about 7 watts, let me turn the mic gain up. Apply the modulation. That's average. Let's go to peak. There's peak. So about 26 watts. As you can see, we're symmetrical. Actually, we're slightly asymmetrical. In other words, we're running, I've got the marker to the positive peak right there. You're running, the peaks. You're running. We're bouncing in right there at about 104 to 106%. If we go to the negative peak, where'd I go? There we go. Negative peak right there, which is right here. Negative peaks. We're running about 91 to 94. It's just, kind of bounces in there. We got a good look on the scope there. And like I said, that's 26 watts PEP from about a 7 watt dead key. So running, like I say, about 90%, 90 to 93% on the negatives. So that's great. We don't want to get to 100% on the negatives. That's when you start pinching off here. You're on the verge there, right there at 104. We're on the verge. That's when you'll start pitching off and start flat topping. We're not doing that at all. It's a good clear signal, no distortion, and looks good. So what we're going to do now is we'll go to the spectrum analyzer, and we'll see how clean this thing is. And this is where this radio is shining. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing how clean this thing is. So what we've got is 27205 center frequency. We've got a negative 20 dB, so we're looking, pretty good in there. Negative 20 dB at 50 kilohertz span. So we'll click that on and let that catch up. And man, this thing is just super clean, super clean. Hell, let's go ahead and take this. Let's look at this at 30 kilohertz. Oh, not 30 megahertz. What did I do? 30. Oh, I took off my center frequency. I'm sorry. Let me get that back. 27.205. I wanted to be over here. 30 kilohertz. Yeah, super clean. Super clean, man. Looking awesome all the way around. So anyway, what we're going to do now is I'm going to check the receive on this thing. The receive seemed to be pretty good, and we're going to check the receive, and we'll be back. We're back with the 88. We've got it hooked up for the alighned test. We're coming in at 12 dB at negative 110, which is really good. I'm really happy with that. We went through the receive chain, and I checked it. Like I say, it's at negative 110, and it's a really quiet receiver. As you can hear, there's not a lot of static in that tone. So even if we come up to negative 118, and you can still hear it, negative 120, you can still hear it in there. So we're not gonna do too much with that. We went through and aligned it already, and that's about as good as it's gonna get, no matter what we would do or any kind of modifications. So very nice, very good receiver on this radio. Very good, quiet receiver, and very sensitive. So anyway, all right, what we're going to do now, we're going to button this radio up and get it all put back together so we can do an overview of the radio, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back with the Galaxy 88, and we've got it hooked up here. We're going to look at the harmonics on this radio at full power. So what we've got, we're going to click it on. We're doing about 26 watts PEP power. Okay, and right here, it's clear, and it really doesn't matter because anything with this is about 50 dB right here, so anything under this is irrelevant anyway. But that's your second harmonic at 54 megahertz. There's your third harmonic at 108, and there's no getting rid of that. That's a harmonic of 27.205, and you got a little bit of stuff right here that's, you know, close but in the mud. And you know, this being an older Galaxy 88, that really doesn't surprise me at all that it has a little bit. But that's not anything. Trust me when I tell you. I'll show you. Right here, this is negative 19.58 dBm. If I take this off, there's the marker you see flashing right there. That marker is at negative 73 to 74 dB. So that gives you an idea. This stuff, if right down here is negative 74, that's going to be negative 70, and this right in here is going to be about negative 65. This is going to be about negative 62, probably about negative 64. So that's what we've got going on here. That's way down in the mud. It's undetectable. If this was being evaluated as an amateur transceiver, it'd pass with flying colors. So not a problem whatsoever. So we're going to take that off, and we're going to get rid of that. We're going to plug a mic in. It's a stock Cobra mic. I don't know how that's going to work. Probably squirrel back, not being noise canceling. Hello, 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 hello. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, let's see what it does. Hello. Oh, yes, wrong button. Hello, check 1 2. All right, let's be cool. Let's turn on a little echo. Hello, hello, 1 2. Audio. Let's find a noise canceling mic. I got a Road King sitting here. Let's use that. So I'll be able to turn it up where y'all can hear it through the receiving radio. So let's grab that. Super clean 88, man. That's all I can say. Hello, 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1. Hello, hello, check 1 2. And it sounds really good. So anyway, that concludes the tune-up and alignment. And one thing I did notice, and I was going to check for it, is this radio has already been recapped before. The caps are good, so no issue there. It's working good. It sounded good, and it even works good on sideband. Oh, Low sideband, upper sideband, lower sideband. Let's see. Let's turn the echo off. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, we're just a little bit off with the Kenwood. Upper sideband. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just a little too close proximity to do the sideband thing. We'll turn that down a little bit.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio check 1, 2.
Like I say, works good on sideband. I don't think the owner of this talks sideband very much, but I did go through and the sideband's aligned and it works well too. And so anyway, that concludes this video on this Galaxy 88. We are slammed. We've got lots to do. As I said yesterday, at this time I'm not taking repairs. Anything that would require any lengthy troubleshooting or anything like that, we're not accepting that right now until I get caught up. I've got loads and loads and loads of stuff that people have sent in for alignments and tunes, and I've got to get those done. I'm not accepting amplifier orders right now. That's probably about 3 or 4 weeks away before we do that. I'm not accepting power supply orders right now. I am selling the modules. The modules are good. We're selling the modules. I'm accepting new radio orders, tunes and alignments, new radio orders, equipment sales, all that good stuff. Yes. I've got some consignment stuff still left here, some amplifiers and stuff. So, like I say, we're doing business as normal. But I am not accepting any major repair business right now, or anything that requires troubleshooting. Mainly because I've got about 5 or 6 radios that I've got to get into, what we call headache radios that I have to get into, and those are very time consuming. So my plate's full on that end right now. So. But if you got something that needs to be aligned, or you think it's all hacked up and it's been in the hands of a typical CB shop hack, be glad to do it for you. Send it on down. You can get with me. Questions and quotes on amplifiers and power supplies, we can get you a quote or whatever. But like I said, not accepting orders right now for those. So anyway, y'all be safe, be careful, and be kind. I've got to move this to the side, and I've got to get on the next one. So we're doing these in the order that they came in, and I've got a stack of them to get done. So right now, if you was to send something in for an alignment, you're looking at about 2.5 week leadway, probably 2.5 to 3 weeks. By the end of next week, that'll be knocked down considerably. So y'all be safe, be careful, be kind. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gone. Bye.